Yeah, buddy. We are back. Welcome to Duct Tape Dynasty. I am the Duct Tape Dude.
I'm the dude.
And this is our final NFL broadcast of 2023, the 2023 season. I know we're in 2024 now, but this is the 2023 NFL results show, our DTD honors show, if you will. Thank you all for being here. I'm excited that you guys are here. Thank you all for being here throughout the entire season. We are back one more time for this NFL season. We will be here throughout the playoffs, but the off season as well. But for this season and this NFL season, this is it. This is the final episode. And what a season it has been. It has been fantastic. It has been exciting. There's plenty to still talk about, even though there was only one game that's happened since the last time we talked. And I'll bring on our special co-host guest here in just a second. But before we get started, do us all a favor. Minimize that screen. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit the bell. All those things. That is literally the biggest thing you can do for us. It helps tremendously, and literally every single like we count. Every single subscription is like a celebration for us. It's fantastic. We're at 169 subscribers right now, almost to 170. I never thought we would hit 100. We used to be the greatest 30 subscriber show on the internet, and now look at us, man. We've been going downhill for 139 subscribers apparently. But anyway, so tonight we have a different special guest than usual, but one we have seen before, one we all know well. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's bring him on. It is Bo. How are you, brother? How you been?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, dude. I'm good.
Great to be here.
It is
Thanks
Friday.
for having me.
It is Friday. You are officially off the clock now, right?
It's quitting time.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. So good to have you back on again. How you been?
Oh, been great, man. Been great.
Dude,
great to be on the show.
How's life out in Colorado?
Oh, it's great, man. It's been really nice the last week or two. We're 60-something degrees, so I'm chilling.
I was just going to ask if it's snowing out there or what's going on. So,
No,
for those who don't know, Bo is in Denver, Colorado, right in the middle of it. Works like 19 jobs just to stay afloat, but by God, he's out there. And we caught him when he's off the clock on a Friday afternoon, Friday evening, whatever. So thank you for being here, dude.
Oh, thank you. I love my weekends. I work like crazy, but I definitely got the Saturday, Sundays off. So, man, I dig it. Friday nights are awesome.
Well, we're excited that you're taking the time to spend it with us. And as you guys can see, Bo is wearing one of our DTD hockey jerseys, as am I. We are sporting the hockey jerseys because we are once again in the off season. And so hockey will be one of the topics of discussion in our off season shows. I mean, I guess, is there really an off season? NFL off season. We talk about all sorts of stuff around here. We'll do shows with, I've got to get Kai Stewart back on, the BKFC Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship champion back on here. I've got a guy from Savannah Bananas lined up. We got all sorts of cool stuff lined up to go this off season. And one of the things we will definitely talk about is hockey. So who won it all last year? Wasn't it Vegas, Bo?
It was Vegas, yeah. Vegas won it right around the same time the Nuggets won. I think the NBA, NHL seasons wrap up around the same time. So we got spring training kicking off too this week, I think, or last couple of days.
Yeah. The spring training is definitely kicking off, at least for pitchers and catchers, and they've all reported and all that good stuff. But yeah, I think training.
Speaking of jerseys,
yes,
have you?
That's man alive.
Fanatics.
Fanatics has swung and missed big time on that. Did you see those pants?
Oh my God.
Holy cow.
Oh my gosh. How did nobody catch that?
Caught that? They sure did on the pictures. So if you guys don't know, if you don't know what we're talking about, MLB downgraded their uniforms significantly, and if you have white pants, they are very revealing. So there's some photos on the internet that are like, ooh,
I gotta send you some memes that I saw. Oh my gosh, just clowning on them.
Little bummed with some of the stuff that I've seen reference those new uniforms, but yeah, that's too bad. Yeah, that's.
They got what, 6 weeks till opening day? You think they'll do some last minute?
No.
Quality control? No?
I don't think so. I don't think with Rob Manfred, I think he's just, I mean, the guy has already said when he's stepping down, 2029, he comes in, the first thing he does is he calls the trophy a piece of metal and, has to deal with the trash can, saga, whatever it is.
Debacle.
And then calls the trophy a piece of metal. He's just been a terrible whatever you call it he was very boring in interviews too. He's not a good interviewee. And baseball is so fragile right now that you can't have somebody fumbling around up there as the commish.
And 2029 is still a ways off.
It is, and he just keeps fumbling one after another. This New Jersey thing. And I'm not talking about New Jersey, the location. The new jerseys that they're wearing are just hideous.
We should get whoever does the Savannah Banana uniforms. He should do the NFL or the MLB.
MLB, a lot of things need to change, dude. So. Anyway, but so we're already talking about things that are not football, even though today is supposed to be our last NFL football show. So we do have some things planned for you.
Back on track.
It's not a standard show. We're not going to have the trivia and all that kind of stuff. But one of the things we didn't get to cover last time because of our outage, we'll call it the
technical difficulties.
Yeah, our technical difficulties is we did not get to cover the NFL honors, which actually it'll work out kind of nicely if we cover them tonight, because then that kind of leads us into our NFL honors or our DTD honors. For the final reveal of our final standings from the season that was. And there was some jockeying of positions even on the Super Bowl. I mean, even it came right down to the wire, and there were some switches, and it got entertaining, dude. So I'm looking forward to revealing our winners, which we will get to. But before we do that, we're going to talk about the NFL winners. Anyway, golly gosh, let me first look in our chat here and make sure I'm not missing too much. We've got Andrew in there. We got Wally in there. Boys, appreciate you all being in there. Andrew's saying, the NFL Combine's coming soon. It sure is, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like all this
Sneaking
stuff.
Up on this.
And then we'll have the draft, and then we'll have, there's always NFL stuff going on. So, even though it's a 6-month layoff until the next NFL game, there's a lot of NFL stuff to talk about.
Dominate the headlines. Yeah.
The NFL is king, and they know what they're doing.
They know it. Yeah.
So, anyway, well, shoot, dude. Before we get into it, do you have anything that we need to cover or announce or anything like that before we get into the NFL honors?
I think we can just jump right into it. I think, you know what I mean? We'll have plenty of ammo to go back and forth throughout the show.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And we will talk about, by the way, the game that was. Yes, there was one game that we did have since the last time we talked. But anyway, we'll get there. But first things first, we're going to start off with our comeback player of the year. And comeback player of the year this year, everybody, it had to be DeMar Hamlin, right? Like the guy.
Vegas made a call.
Yeah. The dude died out there playing football and then came back and played football again. Like it was Joe Flacco, Joe Flacco, the Joe Flacco
Elite.
story. That was pretty sweet, dude. That was pretty awesome late in the season.
Was.
But I mean, Damar Hamlin, I feel like still should have got it. You came back from death.
Probably,
dude.
yeah. I think if he played more snaps, he would have.
Yeah.
You know, if he was out there a little more and, you know, had a little more game action, they would have given it to him. But he just was out there like pretty infrequently. It was tough to give it to him when Joe Flacco started, 8 games or however many.
Well, and he came in and was just absolutely stellar. You know, he just and took the Browns into the playoffs. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. It was fun watching Joe Flacco do Joe Flacco things. Next year, I'm going to call it right now. You heard it here first. Aaron Rodgers is going to be the comeback player of the year.
Yeah,
I'll
probably
call that already. Yeah. So, yeah. And then the coach of the year is who we've got second, which this one kind of surprised me as well.
I totally disagree with this one.
Yeah.
They whiffed on this one.
So the coach of the year, Stefanski for the Browns, which go Browns, I guess. You know, you got the comeback player of the year. Now you got the coach of the year. But dude, where is Dan Campbell? Hello?
D'Amico Ryans. Dan Campbell is an idiot. D'Amico Ryans is the one that got robbed. Dan Campbell shot himself in the foot with all those 4th down tries. He might have had a shot if he didn't make such. I'd like, dude, this ain't Madden. You know what I mean? Like, he's just, come on, man.
But he took the Lions, which you made quite a call on the Lions, as we did. We clipped and put out on the internet at the beginning of the season in our way too early division predictions. You predicted the Lions would win the division. We all laughed at you like you're an absolute fool. They come out, they win the division.
Bit kneecaps.
They not only win it, but they go deep into the playoffs. We're 1 game away from the Super Bowl.
I know.
You know, dude, I mean, yes, Dan Campbell blew it with the 4th down calls, but dude, he still deserved it over Stefanski. He did,
but this is my argument. Yeah, definitely over Stefanski. Stefanski should have been 3rd, probably.
Yeah.
And I think that the reason that I would say D'Amico Ryans over Dan Campbell is because the Lions were decent last season. So, you know what I mean? He if anything, probably should have won it 2022. Sure. And then, you know, the Texans were trash, you know. Had to edit myself a little bit. Trash is
You're good, man.
broadcast friendly version. Yeah. And then he made them, you know, a serious playoff team. I mean, so I think D'Amico Ryans probably should have gotten it. Dan Campbell, yeah, probably second. I think he should have won it 2022. Did he? He didn't win it 2022. No. It was Stefanski in 2022, wasn't it?
No, wasn't it like Vrabel or something last year?
Oh, yeah, I think it was Vrabel.
I think it was Vrabel, yeah.
And then he got fired.
So apparently I sound like Drew Carey when I talk on here, which is awesome. I love it. I'd love to do voiceover work for Drew Carey. He's paid pretty well. So, so looking at the comments, hey, Brian, what's up? Gina, everybody, Katie, hey, how are you? Yeah, we still see you, Wally and Andrew. Guys, we appreciate all of you being here. It's outstanding. We love it. Andrew says I need to give people with a come on down. But anyway, I don't think it's Drew Carey that does the come on down. But whatever. Okay, next up, AP Defensive Rookie of the Year. This is cool. Honestly, I didn't pay attention too much to Defensive Rookie of the Year because we were so busy focusing on Offensive Rookie of the Year, the obvious Offensive Rookie of the Year. But the Defensive Rookie of the Year was Will Anderson out of the Texans as well. Bama. We were just talking about the Texans. He's from Bama, you said?
Yeah. Well, I think that's where I went to college, yeah.
Okay. But I don't know. I don't know much about the defensive rookie. I didn't pay much attention to him.
I didn't either. And you know, all these awards, like, they could kind of go a couple different ways, right? I mean, he obviously had a great season. I think was Witherspoon for the Seahawks a rookie?
I can't
He
remember.
had a pretty good season too. I mean, it's, no matter who wins, there's always going to be people complaining, oh, so and so got robbed. But he had a solid season. Will Anderson and the Texans had a decent defense. I mean, I got no huge issues with that one.
Andrew's making his case for Ivan Pace Jr. out of the Vikings. He says he got robbed because he was an undrafted free agent. Again, I don't know much about, I should have looked a little more into the defensive rookie of the year. But the cool thing about it is, at least to me, is remember last year, defensive, offensive rookies of the year went to both from the same team. It was Sauce Gardner and what's his name from the Jets?
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson from the Jets. Yeah. Well, this year for the offensive defensive rookie of the years, again, we had Will Anderson for the defensive and then CJ Stroud.
Cool.
Yeah, from the Vikings as well for the AP offensive rookie of the year. I think this one was probably a lot easier to vote on. He was obvious. I mean, and he took him on a little run in the playoffs as well. So
he's going to be good for a long time. He's a good, solid draft pick that they're going to just have no issues at the quarterback position for the foreseeable future, I think.
Yeah, and good on them. They dumped the old boy who went to the Browns, Deshaun Watson. And everybody just thought, oh, that's the end of the Texans. Well, I'm glad to see CJ Stroud come in there and do his thing and keep the Texans alive.
Better guy too. Better person.
Way better of a person. So
shout out CJ Stroud.
Yeah. CJ Stroud does it right, man. So no happy endings for him at the massage party. Oh my Lord.
Different kind of happy ending. Trophy happy ending.
Yeah. So
winning.
So then let's get to the defensive player of the year. Player of the year now, not rookie of the year, but the player of the year. Defensively, this one surprised me. Myles Garrett out of the Browns.
This was an iffy one, man. I think TJ Watt got kind of robbed for that one.
He got robbed big time, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you compare their stats, it's not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? And they were talking about on another show that I watched this morning, and they were talking NBA, but they were talking about a lot of it kind of has more to do with narratives and, a complete body of work over a whole career versus just the season with the awards. I could kind of see that in this NFL honors too, because Myles Garrett, obviously he's been great for a while, but this season,
it's this year. It's of the year.
Deserve it this year. TJ definitely had the better year.
Yeah, TJ Watt should Watt.
Do you think
definitely
injuries
have gotten in it.
Maybe
I don't know.
Derailed him. Wasn't he out a couple games?
He was, but I mean, defensively, it seems like all those dudes. Granted, Myles Garrett just a freak of nature. He's never injured.
I mean, he's a great player, but I don't know. It's tough when you see the stats side by side. It's tough to make that case.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's a slouch, but it should have been
controversial.
Controversial one. Was Watt the defensive player of the year before? Is that kind of why maybe?
He might have.
Andrew, you probably know the answer to that one. If
Andrew's
TJ
the stats guy,
yeah,
he's able to pull it up on Google or something real quick. Hit us in the comments
because that might be the reason why they didn't get why he didn't get it this year. Is they didn't want to give it to him 2 years in a row. Granted, they gave Aaron Rodgers MVP 2 years in a row, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. But then the offensive player of the year, I can't really argue with this, although there's one other guy I would like to see up there, and that's Brock Purdy. But I understand they can't really do that. I think it was either MVP or bust for him. So the offensive player of the year goes to Christian McCaffrey. He was an absolute machine this year.
I think this was a no-brainer. This was a no-brainer, man. Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean? A lot of guys had great seasons, but if CMC didn't win this one, he would have walked away with nothing. how do you have a season like that and walk away with nothing at NFL honors? Like, you got to give him at least, if not the MVP, you got to give him Offensive Player of the Year. That was a lock for me.
And you know what, the you saying it that way, that's you're absolutely right, because him walking away skunked would have been an absolute crime.
It would have been a travesty. Crime. Oh my gosh, yeah.
So it says, Andrew says Myles Garrett was 2023, Nick Bosa 2022, TJ Watt was 2021. So Myles Garrett got it last year as well. So
no, this is the 2023 season.
Oh, okay. So Bosa got it last year. Okay. Okay, I see. If the MVP wasn't more QB oriented, CMC would have won in my mind, Andrew says. So he CMC, and I've got this iPad here. I should be looking this up. He had a heck of a year. I got to look up his fantasy
MVP for sure.
He was an absolute wagon all year long. So
dog.
Let's see. Let's go to standings. We'll go to 49ers. Come on. Give me the 49ers. Scores. 49ers. Player stats. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Receiving. Christian McCaffrey receiving had 564 yards. Rushing.
How many touchdowns? He probably had double-digit touchdowns receiving, too.
He had 7 TDs receiving.
Oh, 7. Okay.
And then rushing, 272 attempts, 1,459 yards, average of 5.4, 14 touchdowns, average of 91.2 yards per game. He
21 touchdowns.
24. 14 TDs, and you're right, and then the 7 catching. 21. Yeah, he had an all right year. But the MVP, as we had been saying quite a while, none other than our guy Lamar Jackson, MVP, absolutely deserving, his second MVP of his career. Many more to come, I'm sure. Congrats, Lamar. That's fantastic. We're proud of you. And I think there was no doubt on this one. He was an obvious MVP. Now, granted, Brock Purdy gave him a run for the money.
Josh Allen gave him a run for his money.
There were a few that gave him a run. The Cinderella story of Brock Purdy is the reason that I really wanted to see him get some award, especially since, as we're getting to, he didn't end up winning the Super Bowl. But
He's got a long career ahead of him.
He's done all right for his first 2 years in the NFL.
He'll get his shot at it for sure. And Lamar, a lot of it has to do with team success too. I mean, the Ravens, another one of those situations like CMC with Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, you're gonna have the Ravens and Lamar walk away with nothing. I mean, you got to give that to him after the season they had.
Yeah.
He was far and away the favorite for probably the last 6 or 8 weeks of the season. And, like you said, it was well deserved. He stepped up big when they had Andrews out, and, they kind of overcame. They play in a tough division. They had some losses early and didn't set them off track. They stayed the course and had a great year. I mean, I wish they would have been in the Super Bowl. I would have much rather seen them in the Super Bowl. But hey,
they were close.
The way the cookie crumbles.
They were close. And looking at Lamar's stats for the year, 3,678 passing yards, 24 touchdowns through the air. And then, of course, he's the team's second leading rusher, 821 yards. Guy almost goes for, actually, he's got more yardage than their leading rusher. So he has the most yardage on the team as a running
leading
back.
Passer and leading rusher.
Yeah, but he only has 5 touchdowns. And as opposed to 13 touchdowns for the other guys. So anyway, he had an all right year. Yeah, he did all right.
I'm going to be in Maryland next month. I might have to try to find him out in public and look for an autograph.
Heck yeah, dude. Go find him. Of course, he's probably down in the Bahamas or whatever by now. But
yeah, true. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, good golly. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out my computer as well. It's acting silly. It's not blinking on and off like it was. But
I think you resolved that. We should be good. Should be good.
Yeah, by the way, my for those in the chat, as Bo and I were doing all the checks before the show started, all my cameras and stuff started blinking on and off again, just like they did at the end of last show. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, man, I ran it out of battery last show, and I thought that's why it did that, but I don't think so. I think it was.
We're good.
Yeah.
The show must go on.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the NFL honors that we didn't get to at the end of last show. Congrats to all the winners. There are plenty more out there as well. Andrew says, will it look different next year with Burrow back, potentially new QB in Pittsburgh? Yeah. And uncertain QB path in Cleveland. Yeah. What happens? Is Joe Flacco going back to the couch? Is he going to make a run for the starting job in Cleveland? Like, what's going to happen there?
It's all up to Deshaun Watson. If he goes out, because they're paying him so much.
Oh, my Lord.
If he goes out and plays halfway decent, he's going to start. If he goes out and, turns the ball over left and right, then Joe Flacco.
Is he going to become the Bobby Bonilla thing of the NFL? Like they're just going to kind of pay him every year to just go away? We'll just give you, on July 1st or whatever, you get $20 million every July 1st. Go sit on your couch,
Deshaun Watson day. No.
Yeah, he's going to take over the Bobby Bonilla day. So
for real.
Anyway, dude. So yeah, there was a Super Bowl that happened. Now, you are a Denver fan, so I know this Super Bowl hurt you particularly. I am a Chargers fan. So same division,
Stay strong.
Different team, so I wasn't as devastated, but I probably should have been. But here we go. Here's the way the week shaped up, the Super Bowl. And by the way, I know we were off last week. I know this has been 2 weeks ago now, so it's been a little bit. But sorry, I had to go see some friends down in Dallas last weekend, so that's why we were off. So the Super Bowl shaped up, as we said at the beginning of the season, where we had 3 bets in place, 3 pick'ems in place for the Super Bowl. It was the game itself, then the coin toss, and then over under. And so the way it shaped up, Kansas City won the Super Bowl. Sorry, Bo. Heads took the coin flip, and it was the under, but barely. Holy cow. So let's start from the bottom and work our way up. The point total was 47.5 was the over under. The point total that it came out to the end of the game, which it was a heck of a game, was 47 points. It was 25-22. So that is absolutely amazing that Vegas can get so close. I mean, how do they do that, dude? It is insane.
I don't know, but it's like that all the time. I mean, I wish I could tell you how many games I've seen settled by that half point. I mean, losing by the hook, that's just brutal.
Yeah, that's tough. So you took actually, and that's you went 1 and 2 because you took. Yeah. You're not going to take Kansas City because of the division. We knew that.
I just hate them. I can't do it.
But yeah, anyway, so you didn't take Kansas City, you took San Francisco, and usually when the orange check mark was somewhere where my check mark wasn't, I always freaked out. All season long, dude, every time your check mark was somewhere, it was like Bo knows something. And,
well, hey, if it makes you feel any better, I too was freaking out when my check mark was on the other. I was like, oh, geez, am I totally just whipping it here way off? So, the feeling was mutual. I was just as nervous every time that check mark was on the opposite side.
Well, you had a heck of a season, as we will see in our reveal that is coming up kind of next. But the way the Super Bowl shaped out, let's see. We've got the scores scrolling by. So let me just wait for a second and we'll get it as it starts.
I think Andrew had a pretty good.
So Bully went 3-0. He went outright. He got it. I was 2-1. Then everybody else was 1-2. So that was you, Dave, Andrew, all 1-2. Then Cole and Wally went 0-3. They took Andrew's record from last year, and the lean was 0-3 as well.
The Chiefs, but Andrew took the Niners, huh?
Yeah, Andrew took the Niners as well. He went with your check mark, missed on that one. Didn't go 0-3, went 1-2. He managed to get the under correct on that one. Nice. But I
was second guessing my over pick, but I was committed. Well, I was hoping for a high scoring 49er win.
It was right there. I mean, it was right there. Holy cow. And you know what? Even though Kansas City won, and I know it's disgusting for you, you could hardly stand it. You couldn't even put together a full Mount Rushmore when we when we did one for Kansas City.
I got some comments on the Rushmore. I don't mean to interrupt.
No. You're good. You're good. You guys. Anyway, so you took San Francisco. Kansas City obviously won, but it was a heck of a game, dude.
It was a good game for sure. I mean, it was, as far as Super Bowls go, I'll take it. You know what I mean? I didn't like the end result, but got overtime, close game, decently high scoring. It checked most of the boxes, with the exception of the big one, 49ers winning. That would have been the icing on top. But in regards to the Mount Rushmore,
go for it.
Are the 4 presidents on Mount Rushmore, are they universally the 4 greatest presidents in history? Like, that's debatable, right? I mean, debatable. It's not necessarily 4 best, 1 through 4. It's your Mount Rushmore, your 4 faves, just like the guy who did Mount Rushmore, his 4 faves. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't really see it as like a top 4 ranking. I saw it as Mount Rushmore, who's your top 4 personally. That's why I left off some notable Chiefs.
Hey, you're good. It gives us fodder to be able to make clips to put on the internet, dude.
Yeah,
it made great.
Keeps things interesting, right?
Yeah, it made great clip fodder, but it. And you know what?
That was my Rushmore comments.
And that's what's awesome about the Mount Rushmore. That's why we do it, because if it was just straight up who are the 4 best according to statistics, it would just be everybody would have the same. It'd be boring. It'd be lame. So it's good, but it's always fun to be able to poke fun where we can. And you and your
I'm happy to be a punching bag at times.
Have cool. Both provided some entertainment when it comes to Mount Rushmores. So your dad still needs to defend his quarterback.
I think mine was maybe a little better than his. My Rushmore was a little better than his.
Now you left off current Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, but leaving one of your quarterbacks off.
Manning, how do you leave Manning off, man?
That's a tough one, man.
And Brady, the undisputed GOAT.
Yeah, that's the one that I want to hear the justification for. How does your dad justify not putting Peyton Manning? Well, Peyton Manning, but mostly Tom Brady on his quarterback all-time list.
Do you have Apple TV?
I do.
Have you seen the Patriots doc?
No.
There's 2 new episodes today. Dude, once we're done here, watch it.
Patriots documentary.
Yeah. I hated that Patriots dynasty when it was in it, But now that we got the, alternative, I'm like, oh, please give me back the Patriots dynasty. I'd kill for some Tom Brady right now. You know what I mean? But it's a great one. It really is. It's worth checking out.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out. Right now, I'm knee deep in Drive to Survive, man. I'm an F1.
Oh, nice.
I love F1, and the new season came out today, so.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm binging on that kind of stuff. So
I like that Netflix releases the whole season at once, because some of these other ones, they just do like episode by episode. That drives me nuts. It's like, we're streaming, give it all to us at once.
Yes, I know. I mean? Like, we're paying for the service. Just come on.
Don't portion control our binge watching.
Yeah, give me the goods, bro. Like ESPN did. Granted, ESPN was still is cable, but when they did the Jordan documentary, that was painful. It came out 1 week at a time. Granted, it was I was in front of the TV when that puppy came out. It was late night. I love that
documentary. That's probably my favorite.
That was a great one. So I'll admit, it got me in front of the TV like the old days before we could DVR stuff. When we had to, it was like, oh man, it's 7:00. We got to be home because this is coming on, And
some of my favorite moments from that is, how about them Broncos on the plane?
Dude.
And then when they're interviewing the kids, and then, would you want Christmas presents, or do you want to go see the Bulls? And then they're like, we're here watching the Bulls.
Yeah, dude.
Those are like my two favorite moments from
Dude, I got to go watch that documentary again. That thing was so good. The Last Dance. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, The Last Dance, ESPN documentary, I think has a 10-part series on the Michael Jordan career, and every episode is phenomenal.
And I don't know why it was so controversial. I really don't. Like, I don't think Scottie Pippen was painted as some villain. They reported the facts. He was like holding out, sat out for I mean, what's the big deal? They're hyping that up like it's just a hit job.
Yeah, I thought they were more on the
Jerry Krause.
Yeah, he wasn't the owner. He was the
GM.
GM, yeah. I thought he got more crap than
he did.
But whatever. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. He was their punching bag in real life, so they, reported it as it occurred. I mean, I don't know.
I thought it was a great, very true documentary. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
And
I did too.
One of my favorite parts of it was the fact that he's like, I can't remember what they were playing, if they were rolling dice or if they were playing cards or what, but with one of the ushers. One of the ushers from the game was like one of MJ's primary, gambling dudes before game time. I loved it.
Security, I think.
He's got that afro, perm. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this offseason is gonna be fun, man. There's so many things to talk about. We gotta, Andrew, chalk it up. We gotta do some documentary reviews. That's one thing we gotta do this offseason. We'll say, all right, this week or whatever, let's make a little, Andrew, I'm tasking you via the comment section right now, so I hope you're still listening. Let's make a little, we'll make a schedule. It'll be an off-season
group chat going off.
What do we call it? An off-season documentary schedule thing, and we'll on this week
like a
we're
bracket.
Something like that. Yeah, we'll review. Yeah. We'll review this documentary this week, and hopefully, all of us can kind of watch it, and then we'll all. It'll be cool. He's on it. He says.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. The very first podcast episode I was ever on, when it wasn't my show or my, whatever, I was just a dude. It was the subject matter was the Lance Armstrong documentary when that thing first came out, and it was a great show. We had a great debate about, Lance Armstrong and all that stuff. So I think it'd be fun to get. I mean, it doesn't have to be a bracket thing, but it could be. But do some documentary reviews. There's there's the 4 days in October. I know I've talked about that. It's ESPN 30 for 30 about the Boston Red Sox. That's a phenomenal documentary. For my team, there's got to be some great ones out there for, I mean, we could each pick something. There's got to be like
the
year that there's all those things. I mean, the for you out there, the Nuggets just won the championship.
Yeah, they got
the
some
year
YouTube
before
stuff.
that.
They got the Road to Gold, I think they call it. It's like a YouTube documentary. It's pretty cool too.
And see, we could review that kind of stuff. Yeah, that'd be fun. So, okay, wow. Sorry, rabbit hole. There we went. This is what we do on this show.
I can do this all day.
Yeah. So, great game. San Francisco takes the loss. Kansas City gets the win. Heads gets the flip. And the under is what it was. So before we reveal our final standings, we see the standings for the week going by, which was the 3 picks there that we've already beat the dead horse over. But before we get into our final reveal, now the way I did our reveal for the standings is kind of like an NFL honors thing. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. And like I said, there were standings that changed based upon the Super Bowl outcome. So we're going to do that. But before we get there, I do want to review one thing that happened during the off season, which you were a part of. And that was, it was a little tomfoolery that you and your sister did. We don't talk about it much on the show because there's been enough to talk about with the pick'em. But we also had a fantasy football league that happened amongst the 7 of us who are pickers in this league. And we got a little surprise after the draft. We got a message from Bo and his sister. Now, this video that's about to play is your sister speaking. And after it plays, I'll talk a little bit about it, but you and I have to be quiet because the volume on this is just a little under us. So here is what we got after week 1 of the NFL season regarding our fantasy football league. Here we go.
Good evening. I'm reporting to you live from Albuquerque, New Mexico to deliver some breaking news about the 5280 SportsWire team. So during the off-season, there was actually a change in management. The team was sold for an undisclosed amount. I'm actually the one running the 5280 SportsWire team. That includes the draft, and that means you all lost to a girl in week 1. That being said, good luck this season, gentlemen. I'm coming for the crown.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So we find out a week into the NFL season that we've been rope-a-doped and that Sierra, your sister, actually is the commish of what was supposed to be your fantasy team. And to put a bow on it, so we get that message in week 1, which was fantastic. We all laughed our butts off. You can go back and watch the episode about it. But then, yes, she went on to kick all of our butts, absolutely mop the floor with every single one of us. And so
I hired a good GM.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that worked out. So wow, that was how our season started, and that was perfect for what we've been doing. So anyway, all right.
She broke into the boys club. She deserved it. She's good at
She broke in, really smacked us around, and left, bro.
It wouldn't have been the same if she came and finished in last place. I told her, I'm like, dude, you gotta win. If you're gonna do this, you gotta win.
She went on to win the whole thing. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Yes.
Way to go.
Yes. Way to go, girl. That was fantastic, man. That was fantastic. And you came along kind of right at the end of this whole thing. Last minute addition. You weren't, I don't think you were our last ad. I think the last ad was Cole. But you were one of the last ones,
man.
And we'll, like I said, we'll see how it fared at the end of this episode.
She did everything. I mean, she did the draft. She did the weekly line. I totally hands off before the draft. So that was all her.
It was hilarious. And we actually, we had a live draft show. We had a
show. I was watching. I was like,
and so Bo's sitting there watching, and messaging and whatnot, like he's picking. It was his sister doing it the whole
I was
freaking
finding
time.
out my picks at the same time
Gosh,
as you guys.
it was fantastic.
All live for me too.
So fantastic. And yes, the fact that she went on to win the whole freaking thing is just
Proud
absolutely
way to go.
Money. Absolute money. So let's see how this NFL Pick'em season fared, shall we? So we'll start at the bottom and work our way to the top. Ladies and gentlemen, he who has earned the most coveted of the awards, the Iron Shaft with cow pie cluster, as I call it. Ladies and gentlemen, Bully. Bully took last place this year. Way to go, Bully. Attaboy. Outstanding work.
You gave him a run for his money, though.
All right. Finishing with an epic score of 58.2%. Bully gets the Iron Shaft with Cow Pie Cluster Award, i.e., aka, whatever you want to say, last place. Okay, so next year, Bully, if Bully plays along, which I hope he does, it sounds like he will be the owner of the pink color for next year. So
the pink check.
Yeah, and Bully in the mail will get this very award.
And you know what's remarkable? Last place, still right more often than not.
Oh yeah, that's
You know
what I was
That's-
gonna say. You know, we look at 58.2% and it's like, oh geez, bro, like that's winning.
The spread was not that large between first place and last place.
Yeah, like he has got a winning
Couple
season,
percentage points,
almost 60% winning, percentage.
Yeah.
So all in all, yeah, granted he came in last of our league, but he did not do shabby. He's still making money out there in Vegas.
Full of dogs.
Yeah, dogs. It's not the 78.3% that we had last year, but he did all right. So the Iron Shaft with Cow Pie Cluster goes to Bully. And yeah, that's just fantastic. Now, I want to thank him personally because I was in last place for most of the year. So I was sure.
You looked like you had it locked up.
Dude, I was sure that I was going to come home and keep this stupid trophy that I've had forever. And I was very thankful to Bully for taking the Iron Shaft with Cow Pie Cluster Award. Yeah. So yeah, Bully's not in the comments tonight. He is busy tonight, which we are sad about. It's unfortunate that he couldn't be in there, but hopefully he'll see this later. And regardless, he will be getting a trophy in the mail.
Tag him, spam the hell out of him, send it to him over and over.
It's coming, baby. It's coming. It's coming. So, all right. Second to last, Mr. Irrelevant Award goes to none other. Oh, no. Don't crap out now. Okay. Whew. I thought my computer was crapping out on me. It goes to Andrew.
Got the live feed over here, so I'll be able to tell if we go haywire.
My live feed is still good, I think. But Andrew comes home at 59.6%, Mr. Irrelevant, because basically he did nothing. He didn't come in last, but he didn't come in the middle of the pack. He didn't come in the front of the pack. He's just Mr. Irrelevant. So
kind of Charger-ish.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Granted, Mr. Irrelevant for this year was pretty fantastic all around. Brock Purdy, but yeah.
I was going to say, we got to rename it because Brock Purdy kind of took the.
I know. What I mean? He took the fun out of
into
it.
A positive.
So, Andrew, okay, I got to catch up on comments here. Andrew says, nobody can give me crap anymore because I sucked this year in fantasy. Very true. Does that mean I'm Brock Purdy? I'm just saying I could be Purdy. Yeah. Purdy bad.
Purdy good.
Wally says Purdy bad, maybe. Very Viking-ish. So, yeah. Andrew, you are Mr. Irrelevant. And then, like I said, the stats did manage to swap around there at the end. One of the places was this one right here. And that is me coming in third from last with the Little Lebowski Underachiever Award. That is me. 59.9, almost broke the 60% mark. Managed to come in right in the middle of the pack, third from last. I mean, I might as well be Mr. Irrelevant for sure as well, but I didn't.
The host can't be Mr. Irrelevant. You're leading the charge here with DTD.
I figured since I do the duct tape dude thing,
I'm the dude,
that I would stick with the Lebowski theme and went with there's a thing called the Little Lebowski Urban Achievers in the movie. That's where this comes from, the Little Lebowski Underachiever Award, because I definitely did not. So when we boasted all season the 78.3% prediction accuracy, that was my accuracy from the season before. So you see, I went down just a little bit, 59.9%, bro. Almost 20% drop. Was not my year this year. But
this season was a lot different. I mean, there's upsets left and right. It was hard.
There were. It's no excuse on my part. I will say I am going to give myself a little leeway in the fact that, bro, this took a lot of effort to put together every week, because
it's like a part-time job.
Yeah. Like, and we were creating this as we went along. So next year we'll kind of have a format like you and I were talking before. We kind of know we've got a little format for the show.
Got a blueprint.
Yeah. Now, of course, we're going to try and, make things interesting and exciting as we go along, keep it fresh. But, we at least know what we're doing now. Now, if we could just get the screens to stop blinking on and off and figure out what the heck I'm doing electronically, that would be a lot better. So
I think you're good. We're still looking good on the broadcast.
Yeah, we're not blinking. It must have been that third camera. So
I think it was.
Yeah. Anyway, and Wally says he was like the rabbit, started out fast and strong, so to speak, then sucked in the end like a turtle. So Wally, that's true. Let's go.
We'll get to the line graph soon.
Yeah. Wally comes in with the 0-3 award. Congratulations, Wally. Last year, Andrew managed to seal up last place with an 0-3 performance in the Super Bowl. You managed to almost drop below me. You dropped down to me. And so you and I ended up, Wally, tied at 59.5% or 59.9% game prediction accuracy. I gave you the win over me because of the fact that you've been ahead of me all year long. But you went 0-3 in the Super Bowl, so that is your moniker. Is that even the right word? I don't know. That's your little.
Did you guys have the
title.
Same record?
Yeah. We'll get
to the same.
Yeah. We'll get to the records in a little bit.
What are the chances of that?
Yeah, I know. It was tight. I mean, you got to... Yeah. Sorry, my sock is coming off.
No, you're good.
You actually... And we're going to get to yours here in just a bit. I don't want to jump too far ahead. But yeah, it was tight all the way around. It was actually a close competition. And like I said, it came down...
ball.
Oh, yeah. It came down to the Super Bowl. There were positions that jockeyed right around the Super Bowl. Andrew and I switched. Wally fell down just to the same percentage as me. And actually, this very next one, which is third place, swapped right at the last minute as well. So coming in third, which, by the way, what do you think about old Wally getting the 0-3 title this year?
I mean, I don't know what's worse, the last place or the 0-3. I mean, it's kind of like making it to the Super Bowl and then crumbling under the pressure. It's you know what I mean? But man, Uncle Wally, he's got some cojones. He was the only one that was right alongside me with the check mark some days. Dude. Sometimes a little too much, but hey, I'm not going to fault him for that. You know what I mean? He swung for the fence every week. And
he put on a performance. You talk about in baseball, the home run ball is the most exciting part of it, so juice the baseball. Well, Wally was definitely if you look at the line graph, he was the most exciting. We will get there in a bit because his line goes like he's in the middle. He jumps up and is on top, and then he just kind of collapses, as we'll see. And he came
just a little too aggressive sometimes.
Yeah.
You got to. He's like Dan Campbell. You can't go for it on fourth down every time.
Yeah.
You got to know when to take the points, right?
Yep. And he did not take him in the Super Bowl, and Dan Campbell didn't take him on the way to the Super Bowl. So, by the way, Andrew, I was going to give you the 1-2 award because you improved from 0-3 to 1-2 in the Super Bowl. But the fact that Wally went 0-3, I was like, well, we'll do that. So, and so third place goes to Cole. He was our latest addition. So yeah, third place, come on. There it is. Yes. Congratulations, Cole. One of our newcomers coming in and breaking the 60% mark. 61.3% is his record. Third place. Well done. And like I said, we're going to give the overall records. There was 285 games that we predicted. We actually did 287 picks because of the fact that in the Super Bowl, we also did the over-under and the coin flip. 285 games, dude. That's a lot of games.
It is.
That's a lot of games. So
thankfully, there is about 16 at a time.
Yeah, they broke them up, but 285. He came in 61.3%, took third place. I think in the first week, he absolutely was abysmal. I think he was last place after the first week, and it was like, and then he came back, and he was right on top. He was right below you for quite a while.
He was sniping them there like towards the end of the regular season.
Yeah. So he had a good season, great inaugural season with the league, and came in third, but he right at the last minute during the Super Bowl got beat by he who comes in second, which is Dave. Dave, the hockey kid, the kid that came up with our jerseys, the kid that knows nothing. No, he doesn't know nothing of football. He obviously knows something because he came in a clean second place, 61.7% game prediction accuracy. Dave bringing in second place. Congrats to Dave. Not going to spend too much time on that because that only leaves one person we haven't talked about, and that, sir, is you. Mopping it up with a 63.4% game prediction accuracy, our people's champion, Bo. Okay, shut up. Anyway, so you bust out.
Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah. You bust out more of your wife's jewelry. I love it. He breaks out an NBA trophy this time. Hey, brother, like we did with the Sierra reveal of the fantasy football, the reason we put that up there and she came out and mopped up is because of the fact that you came out and mopped up a clean win for the entire season, the people's champion, 63.4%. Bo, you won the league. Congratulations. What do you have to say for yourself?
Thank you. I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
That's a good place to start.
I really I just went with my gut, and that's, when it comes to pick 'em, you don't want to go too, get too in your head about underdogs and favorites. And yeah, I think a lot of us were, like I said, we were super close. Super close. So, it really probably came down to what, 15 or 20 winning picks.
Let's
around there.
Let me fade it over here in just a second. It's about to recycle. So here we go. The lean was 176 and 111. Okay, so that's the well, we'll talk about that in a second. But the way it came out, so the 2023 final standings are yourself at 182 and 105. Okay. Dave, now you had a big lead because you beat Dave by 5 games. He was 177 and 110, but Cole was 176 and 111. Wally was 172 and 115. I was 172 and 115. Andrew was just 1 game behind that at 171 and 116. And then Bully's just 4 games behind that at 167 and 120. So we're talking
about 20.
with the exception of your, I think, 5-game lead. Everything was tight, man. I mean, it was down to 1 or 2 games. So you were 182 and 105. Dave was 177 and 110. You won it by 5 games. You had a clean win, solid win, but
about a 15 game spread between first and last place. Though.
Yeah,
that's close, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it was a season.
That's really close.
7 people independently picking. Yeah, that's pretty impressive that it was that close. So now I'm displaying the line graph that shows kind of the progression throughout the season. As you see, the purple line there that starts, if we go to the left side, starts on top on the left, that is Wally. So you see he was a rocket ship, man. And then he just kind of fell into the middle and just went into obscurity. Then you had me who started in the middle, fell to the bottom and couldn't get out of it, but somehow managed at the very end.
I had a rough start too.
Yeah, you were at the bottom in the beginning.
Yeah.
Cole and Bully were the only ones below you, and then you just rocketed up, and once you took over, there was one point you were tied with Cole, but other than that, you led it the whole way. So, I mean,
and I think my proudest part of all of this is not beating you guys, it's beating the lean.
Yeah.
That's what makes me the proudest, honestly.
Yeah. You beat the lean by a decent amount. You were, what did we say, 182, and I think the lean was 176, 177?
Yeah.
Something like that. So
5 games or so. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just going with your gut, picking some underdogs, zigging when everybody else zags. You know what I mean? It's
dude, we're gonna have to go back and review and see what you did, because like I said, when that orange check mark showed up on the other side from the rest of us, it was always what does Bo know that we don't know? And
we'll
you
see if
why.
I can run it back.
They talk about the commercials, or they don't talk about the commercial, but you remember the commercials of Bo knows? Well,
oh yeah,
Bo knows.
Heard it my whole life.
Yeah, so you definitely know. Your sister knows. Your dad still sucks at doing Mount Rushmores, but whatever. The family's doing well.
The Colonel more involved. You know what I mean?
We do.
A new cast member for season 2 or 3, maybe. You know
next year will be, I guess officially it'll be season 3. So yeah.
I guess he was kind of here this year, but not really.
Yeah,
so
well, he's busy. He's getting married, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
He's got a few things going on, but
yeah.
But dude, wow, what a season, what a year. I mean, we all hung in there.
It was a blast.
I had a lot of fun, man. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And so
it made me care about some of the matchups that, aren't like broadcast on TV, and you know what I mean? Like games that I wouldn't normally care about. It had me following them a little closer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I had a great time.
And I tell you, our little group chats that we had, there was a couple of them.
Yeah.
There was the one that would pop off on Sundays, and then there was the one for the rest of the week. That was a lot of fun, man. And that was kind of the whole purpose of this thing was,
Absolutely.
I mean, how much chatter did we have throughout the season? And this brought some people we never even knew before. Bully, we got Cole in here. Yeah. So
absolutely,
man, this season has been an absolute blast. I am so sad that it's over. I'm so excited for the next one. And I'm so excited for the things that are to come, man, because we've got a lot of things coming up this off season, and
got some stuff cooking.
I hope that you're going to continue to be a part of it, because we love having it, and especially the fact that you you wear your wife's jewelry when you come on the show.
Yeah, this is hers too. Thanks.
but rightfully so, man. You're doing something right. You're winning. Your sister's winning. I mean, what the unbelievable.
Graves. It's the start of a dynasty.
It is, man.
Duct Tape Dynasty.
It's the Duct Tape Dynasty. It all fits together. It's all part of the plan. So take over the world. But yeah, dude, I want to thank you for being a part of it for this season.
Thank you.
I want to congratulate you on winning the whole thing. This might be your trophy. I don't know. We'll see.
I think it. The thinker.
The thinking duck.
Man, that's going on the desk.
Yeah,
sure.
that might be your trophy. So for those,
that's
it's like a naked duck sitting on a. Well, he's on a stump. It's not on a. But
I couldn't come up with a better trophy if I tried. That's great.
That might be your trophy. I don't know.
That's incredible.
That was one of the things I put off all season was I tried to figure out a trophy, but dude, I was so busy putting this show together that
nailed it.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, so that is it. The one other thing I did want to show at the end of the last show that I didn't get a chance to do is I had a little social slide made up for, during the playoffs, we kind of went with we had Bully and Andrew were the co-hosts kind of exclusively throughout the playoffs. I think it was a good little team. The dynamic worked great. And so I created a little slide that has our social media stuff on it, Duct Tape Dynasty, DTD.BigSkyCountry, Bully's thing on there. I didn't have you on there because this was supposed to be for last show.
No worries.
But Bo, if you would tell us what your Instagram or any other things out there, socials that you want folks to go to so that they can either take a snapshot of the screen and you'll have all the stuff for Andrew, myself, and Bully, or you can listen and tell them where they can find your stuff.
Absolutely. I got a 5280 SportsWire page. It's kind of more geared towards the Nuggets just because the Broncos have been so pitiful. But you know what I mean? It's just kind of a little burner account for me that, you know what I mean? I just like shit posting on there. You know what I mean?
Little
just
burner account, whatever.
Highlights.
You
know
got
what I mean?
thousands of followers or whatever, dude. You're like...
Well, I kind of had writer's block, man, during the NFL season because the Broncos were not good.
Yeah, that was
and
bad season.
The NBA season, it kind of takes a while to ramp up. Like now we're real in the thick of it because the All-Star break just ended. And, you know what I mean? We're ramping up on the playoffs. But yeah, 5280 SportsWire on Instagram. And I'm getting back into it. I'll ramp it back up here in the next couple weeks and see if we can get some more content out there for everybody. And it's just a fun little thing I like to post on every once in a while. It's good for highlights and this and that. But Duct Tape Dynasty, I can't wait to run it back, man. Let's go.
Dude,
Season 3
rock and
coming
roll,
soon.
baby. Yeah, good stuff. Andrew throwing a teaser in the chat. We are going to have a mascot tournament on Instagram on his DTD.BigSkyCountry. So check that out. That'll be coming up.
Rocky.
Lots more to come. We're not going to be every week in the off season, but we're going to try to be fairly regular. Should be a good time. With that, brother, I think we should get the heck out of here. What do you say?
No worries.
We've been over an hour already.
Quitting time once again, huh?
Yeah, let's go have ourselves a weekend. Y'all be good. One last time for this NFL season. We love y'all. Y'all are the absolute best.
Love you guys.
Thank you, and
Thanks
we will
again,
see
Josh.
you next time. Later.